And this hangout on air is live.
Live.
What's happening? Okay.
Yes.
Water.
Me.
I had mac and cheese for dinner.
Ooh.
Gets you a little phlegmy.
Yes.
All right. Well, it was lobster mac, so, fancy.
Ooh, fancy schmancy.
Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2,
Oh, wait a minute.
1.
I counted wrong. I went to 1.
I'll start the count over just for you.
All right.
In 3,
Oh.
2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. Have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight? Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. As always, I am Jon, and he is Stugots.
Hi.
And Stugots this week will just be answering everything by making funny faces.
Yes. I have a live audience here with me in Casa de Stugots.
I was going to say, otherwise this would be a really boring episode for the audio-only version.
No, it would be because you wouldn't be able to see anything. So I'm making faces for them.
Gotcha. So we have 3 big stories this week.
3?
I know, it's exciting. I don't know where to start from. So I think we'll start with...
We started from the bottom, now we're here.
As always. But I think we're going to start with your favorite story of the week.
All right.
Linda Carter, television's Wonder Woman.
Oh, I love Linda Carter.
And your daily Linda Carter.
Yes.
She will be getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Finally. Is this because the United Nations took away her ambassadorship?
It's quite possible, but that was a couple of years ago already.
Oh, how long have we been doing this show?
Well, we're at week 60. This is episode 62, so
Jesus,
give or take 62 weeks.
Fucking dragons.
So I guess it was over a year ago already. Yeah. Meanwhile, you're the one like, all right, let's go, let's record.
Yes. 1, 2, 3 podcast.
So behind the scenes, you can't wait to do it in front of the camera. Oh, God, this thing sucks. I'm on to you. So, how do you feel about your favorite actress getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame star?
Well, it is much deserved. She's had she played it in an iconic role for several seasons. She was Wonder Woman, and she did exemplary at it. She has become the measuring stick for what comic book actors and actresses should be. She was Wonder Woman. I mean, Gal Gadot is excellent as Wonder Woman. There's no doubt about it. But Linda Carter will always be Wonder Woman, much like Christopher Reeves will always be Superman. It doesn't matter who is in the cape or has the golden lasso. It's still Linda Carter. Like that, they are the measuring stick.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
They didn't just set the bar. They are the bar.
There are 3, like...
The bar's on TV right now.
Yeah, we get that. There's 3 like big actors that we think of when it comes to DC. Linda Carter,
yes.
Christopher Reeves, Adam West.
Yes, without a doubt. And
I don't know if Christopher Reeves has a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. I wouldn't doubt it, though.
I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, the movies, the iconic role portrayal of Superman, the books, his charity work, I'm sure he has.
Yes, he does have one.
Was it before he died?
2004.
Oh.
No, he died in 2004. Trying to see if I can see when. The star was definitely before, because I see it here in obituary for him.
Oh, okay.
It goes back to 97.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was before. Adam West got his a couple of years ago.
Yes.
So Linda is the last one of that trinity to get it.
The Holy Trinity. Yeah,
really. I mean, the 3 biggest DC characters of the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
So, I mean, it was even an uphill battle to get one for Adam West, because radio personality Ralph Garman was trying to spearhead it for years before it actually happened.
and they were trying to come up with the money for it, and then it was the approval process.
Yeah, I mean, it in some ways it's easy to get one. In some ways, it's not.
You would think for him that would be automatic. I mean, the television show meant so much to television broadcasting in the 60s. And then
Yeah.
all the way into the 80s, that show was being rerun.
Oh, easily.
I mean, it's still on now on the weekends on MeTV.
Yeah, it disappeared for about 10 years and then came back. And it's amazing that it took that long to get it. I know they did a documentary. I haven't watched it.
It's pretty interesting.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah. It was my hot pick one week.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, way back.
I have
3 people.
Yeah, I haven't memorized all 100 hot.
No, that's fine. I'm not saying you should. I'm just pointing out. That's all.
Yeah, it's one of those where I've always wanted to, and it's been on my list, and then I never get around to it. But I catch what I can. So I know a lot of it was just trying to get the money for them, and then trying to get the sponsorship that's required, not just monetarily, but then to get them from the organization that does it.
How much is that to get? What's the?
I want to say it's $30,000.
Oh, I should have a star then.
You should. I mean, that's really it.
Oh man.
Former host of the Jon Stugots Experience.
Yes.
Current host
for podcasting.
Current host of the Eat Up Show. Current host of Geekodrome. And plus all the other stuff that's coming up. And I got to say, how come there is no Stugots Hollywood Walk of Fame star?
I think because they wouldn't know what to put in the emblem. How they put for movie actors and actresses, they put the old school movie camera. For TV stars, they put the TV. What would they do for me? A picture of an internet?
Yes, a picture of the entire internet.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's really the only way to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
eventually, I think we're close to seeing internet stars get stars on the Walk of Fame.
I wouldn't doubt it. She's not considered an internet star. She'd be TV, but why would Snooki get one?
I meant reality TV shows. I'm sorry. That's what I really would have meant.
Yeah. We have no reality, no internet yet. I wonder if you think so? You think Snooki will be the first one?
She'll be the first reality show person to get one.
I just don't see it.
Like if you watch on Monday Night Raw or Major League Baseball, they show like YouTube celebrities. And that's how they're listed as a YouTube celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's dumb, but they still get that listing. So eventually it'll go that way.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before you have somebody who's an internet star.
Like it's not going to be Logan Paul, obviously.
Not anymore.
No.
But yeah, there'll be somebody.
His icon would be just a little smiley face. The emoji of meh.
That'd be awesome. It would be awesome if they did that.
Because you could be like, meh, what's this guy famous for? Or, meh, this guy's a douchebag.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few of those on the internet.
There's 2 of them right here on the internet right now.
And damn proud of it.
That's right, baby.
Hey, but we're the ones with the microphones.
That's right. So you will listen to us. Not really, apparently.
No, but it's okay. We can't hear them either.
Yes.
So how long till we have the Stugots star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame then?
I think we should start working on it.
We should start working on it now.
Yep.
I think we'll have it within a couple of years.
We'll do a GoFundMe for the $30,000.
Yes, we will GoFundMe. And then, they'll have us fly them out. We'll have them fly us out to
We'll do the show live from the streets of Hollywood.
Of course.
That's Matt Hardy. And that's his son, and that's his other son, and that's singer Benjamin, his groundskeeper, and his wife Reba. I'm just explaining to the children what's happening on Raw right now.
Oh, we have broken.
His Vanguard 1, his drone. He's talking to it.
Yes, he is. Of course he is.
I'm just telling them because they don't know.
At least he's not talking to the boat while inside the house.
Yeah.
Because that would be awkward.
Yes.
So we are going to get on this. We are going to get the Stugots Hollywood Walk of Fame star And we are going
That's
to
his
have that
house.
immediately.
Immediately.
Immediately, if not sooner.
So obviously, this will be happening soon with Linda Carter's star, and I'm sure Gal Gadot will be there.
Oh, without a doubt. And then it'll just be a bunch of Hollywood people who are
Yeah.
working for the organization and whatever else.
You won't recognize anyone else. They'll be the only two.
No. Because it's not like that show really had a memorable co-star. Like, could you tell me who played Steve Trevor?
No, I could tell you, like, if I saw a picture of him, I could pick him out of a lineup, but if you tell me to name him, I'll be like, well, I don't know. Dude who kind of looked like George Hamilton, but not.
It was generic 70s actor dude.
Yeah. Troy McClure.
You may remember me from such hygiene films as Tooth Decay, The Silent Killer.
You know what's funny is that I don't like The Simpsons, and I've barely seen a dozen episodes, but I can remember the guy's name.
Well, that's because everybody loved Troy McClure. It was Phil Hartman.
I know, but at the same time, I love the Wonder Woman show, and I've seen almost every episode, and I don't remember that dude's name.
True. Now, did you prefer the 1940s episodes or the modern day episodes?
The modern day.
Yeah. Well, and that was only like, what, one season where they actually went like modern day?
Yes. The other, I want to say 2 seasons were from the 40s.
I want to say it was 2 as well, without looking. Which is it's kind of interesting how so many shows from like the even 60s and 70s are like so focused on like World War II.
Yes. Well, just like now, TV shows are so focused on the war on terror. There's a SWAT. There's a SEAL team show. There's so many. And then you look at a show, even like Lethal Weapon. Martin Riggs on that show is a veteran of the Iraqi War.
Well, he was a Vietnam vet in the movie.
In the movies, yeah.
So it just makes sense. They just moved it forward. That's like saying the Punisher was originally a Vietnam vet and is now an Iraqi vet. It's just a way of keeping the characters just younger and more
and
current.
Relatable.
Exactly. You don't want to have him be a World War II vet, and then it's just like, now he's fighting crime in his 90s.
In his 90s, like, wow, how the hell is this guy doing it? He's committed.
Yeah, really.
He should be.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that one's just a moving of time, but it's just like there was such a focus. Like even episodes of Star Trek would go back to World War II and things like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I was a bit disassociated. I never really understood the attraction of that.
Because we were younger.
Oh, I know. But it's just like, I guess the number of shows that are taking place in like the 80s now and even into the 90s, kind of that kind of thing.
Yes.
So, thanks for the reassurance.
I'm agreeing with you.
All right.
I hate to see that the 80s are like part of TV shows now.
Well, you have whole shows dedicated to it, like the Goldbergs.
Yes. Well, I think that show's stupid. But it bothers me because that means that, we're getting older. Where our youth is now fodder for shows. Dude,
the worst for me was the time that I turned on the oldie station and heard the music I grew up with.
Yes, CBS 101.1.
They play fucking Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
That was the channel that my parents listened to.
Yes,
up.
Well, now guess what? People our age are parents, and some are grandparents.
Oh, don't remind me.
So they want to hear the music of their youth.
True.
So it has to be on the oldie station.
Just calling my music oldies is like, oh.
I know, it's my music too, but it's the truth. Like, that's how it's seen. And if you look for you in New York, who's the head DJ on 101? Scott Shannon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he does the morning drive.
Okay, I don't actually listen to
it. He's like head program director for the station now. So it's like when was he popular? In the 80s.
In the 80s,
so it would make sense
PLJ.
that he could program a station. He was on Z100 and then PLJ.
Yeah, I know. I got him backwards. He was the Z Morning Zoo guy originally.
Yeah. Him and Ross Britton.
And Mr.
Leonard, assistant head pronounsticator.
He was the best part of that show.
Yeah. Until you find out that there was like a Mr. Leonard in every fucking city in America.
Oh,
on the
what was?
radio.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was a Z Morning Zoo like staple. Everyone they all had a Mr. Leonard.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never
Yeah.
really paid that much attention to that kind of thing.
I'm sicker than a dog.
Yeah. It was always entertaining, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
but I know a lot of them. They used the same service, and so they would tell the same jokes and whatever.
Yes, and they all played phone calls from Mr. Stress.
Yeah. Well, they all used Prep Burger.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was just blanking on the name of the service, but yeah, like they all use the same service. But I mean, to the point where like a certain website I worked on that we're not going to name was the original goal was to kind of replace that. So it would be the place that all the radio people,
RonFez.net.
yes, would go to kind of get all the stories in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, that was one of the original plans for that website.
Oh.
Yeah, eventually the whole story will come out, but I just don't feel like telling it. All right, so not only we got to go to Hollywood for Linda Carter, we got to go to Hollywood for Stugots.
Yes, definitely.
We're all set. One more thing coming out of Hollywood right now is the news that Ava DuVernay is working on a DC Comics New Gods movie.
It's going to be pretty damn cool.
It can't be any worse than what they did in Justice League.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Which I guess we'll get to this with the third story if it's what I think it's going to be. I'm almost at a point where I'm going to give up on DC movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting kind of burnt out. The third story isn't really what you think it is. It's not the Batman thing.
Okay.
I figured we would just mention that with this, but it's hard to go in depth on that when it's just we have a date. So yeah, I mean, I love the New Gods. I mean, they're created by Jack Kirby, who he is the king.
The king of comics, baby.
And you know, even when we were talking about it, God, like last year, when we were talking about Jack Kirby stuff, and I asked, "What's your favorite Jack Kirby creation?" And you guys went with like Captain America.
I may have said Ben Grimm.
Sorry, Ben Grimm. You're right.
Yes,
Captain America was not.
I'm a big Ben Grimm fan.
Yeah, and Kirby did not create Captain America.
No.
That was Joe Simon. But I picked New Gods because, like, I love Darkseid. I think he's a fantastic villain.
He really is.
He's what I wanted to see in Justice League.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, New Gods is Game of Thrones on a planetary level. Like, there's so much drama and so much, like, soap opera to it. You know, Darkseid gives up his only son and trades him for the Allfather's only son. And they raise each other's sons. And that's like a big thing. Like, and then there's just all the, you know, the characters around these families. And, you know, Darkseid trying to destroy the universe. And the New Gods trying to stop him. These big, colorful characters in these great, dramatic space scenes.
Yeah.
And I want to see that. I want to see it on screen. I want it to have Kirby crackles. I want it to have that whole Kirby crackle. Like, I want the comic book page in all its color and spheres and that art to pop off the screen. So I'm hoping she does it well. I didn't see a Wrinkle in Time, so I don't know how she did with that.
I didn't see it either. Box office wise, I don't think it's doing well.
Yeah, it's doing okay. I think it was doing okay, but the other thing is that it's up against Black Panther, which, you know, is about to cross.
Still raking in big bucks.
Black Panther is about to be the highest grossing superhero movie of all time.
Yeah, because, you know, it's a gimmick, and they have a movie poster that they gave away for free the first week. You know,
I want to see
that whole argument.
Yeah, really. I want to see Black Panther still in theaters and making money up until the day Avengers comes out.
Oh, that'll happen.
That would be fucking amazing. I want to, you know what I want to see? I want to see Black Panther in the top 10 with Avengers.
Oh, that definitely will. It'll be top 5, I think.
If it's still in theaters, there's a good chance of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just when is the the DVD supposed to come out?
I think it'll still be making money at the box office when the DVD comes out.
Yeah, I mean that's quite possible. Uh, According to just a quick Google search, May it's supposed to come out.
Uh,
So yeah, it won't even be on home video yet by the time Avengers comes out on
yeah,
April
still making money.
27th. So it's quite possible we could see both of them together on that list. And how amazing would that be?
That'd be pretty damn cool.
I mean, that was a great movie. I still need to see it again. That's the one I definitely look forward to seeing again. Possibly when it's on like home video or whatever. But I want to see New Gods. New Gods is going, if done right, it's going to be fucking amazing.
And that's the thing. I love that they're doing something different, like New Gods. They're giving it to a different director, someone that you wouldn't expect. I just worry that it's not going to be done well when you hear about how they're still having problems with the Batman film.
Yeah, but the other thing is that they've replaced all of the top brass at this point. Like Zack Snyder, completely gone, and there's been drama around that even. Joss Whedon seems to be even gone. Jeff Johns is given a back seat. I'm blanking on other names who were the like producers and whatever, but they're all pulled off of it. I mean, they're only pretty much in name attached to Batman at this point, which is pushed back to not even starting production until 2019 because they have 3 movies coming next year.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 2. What's the second one? Blank what the second one is. And then the Joker origin movie.
Which I don't understand why we have a Joker origin movie.
Neither does anybody else.
Why would you have a villain origin movie?
But even more so, a character who shouldn't have an origin.
Yes.
Like he's a character who
is unknown.
Well, he has like a lot of different ones.
Yeah.
In a way. So it's like, for the longest time there was the Red Hood one.
Mm-hmm.
When the movie came out in 1989, there was that one that they kind of attached to him for a bit. So I mean, they really did the origin properly in The Dark Knight.
Yes, but you don't really know.
Well, he says
he alludes to different things.
Yeah, he says his origin 3 times.
Yeah,
and each time it's different.
It's different. Yes,
it's like my father beat me up, or I had a bad relationship, or whatever. And it's just like, boom. That's the whole point. His backstory doesn't matter. He is chaos.
Yes, he's a force of nature.
Exactly.
There's no origin for a tornado. A tornado happens.
Well, there really is. It's the wind patterns and the
yes, but it just all happens.
Okay.
When you're outside, there's a tornado. It just happens. The Joker just happens.
I agree, and that's what I love about that character, and that his motivation is, just random. Like it's just his moods. Yeah. Now I feel like killing all of Gotham, and now I don't. Now I feel like just attacking Batman. But it's sort of a yin-yang relationship between Batman and Joker.
Right.
And they're really two sides of the same coin.
That's why, again, it's perfect, because we definitively know Batman's origin.
Yeah. And even most of his villains.
That we wouldn't know Joker's.
Exactly. I know that a lot of for the years and years, it was he fell into the vat of chemicals at Ace Chemicals.
Yes.
Which is fine and all. I mean, obviously he has to come from somewhere, but
right.
Part of it was like, Batman, he was fighting Batman and fell in when he was the Red Hood. And then it was just an accident happened there.
He was a stand-up comic.
He was a stand-up comic who needed some money to pay for his wife who was pregnant. And so this gang called the Red Hoods kind of recruited him. They threw the Red Hood on him. And then they were going to rob Ace Chemicals. And while they're there, Batman tries to stop them. He falls in the chemicals, becomes Joker.
Yeah.
That's sort of that's the stand-up comic one. So it's all kind of connected. And then, over the years, different ones have happened. It's not like, Gotham where it's like, oh, that guy. Is it originally, they were promising a different Joker every episode in the first season. And they never even did that. They had a stand-up comic in the first episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was like, hey, this could have been him.
But it wasn't.
Nope.
But I actually liked the premise of 26 weeks, 26 different people who could be Joker.
Yes.
And regardless of, if none of them turned out to be, it would have been fine too. But I like the idea of here are 26 different Jokers.
But I also like what Gotham did with the Red Hood, of different people being the Red Hood and it making them act differently than what they would have normally acted. Yeah,
well, the Red Hood was really fantastic the way they played it. I
liked it. They never went anywhere with it. It was just a one episode. I don't think that it ever came back, but it really was a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming back either. I think they're trying to push the major villains now.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I still watch it, but
I do not.
I know. We talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
I gave up.
Yeah, this Poison Ivy's becoming Poison Ivy with her Poison Ivy powers. Solomon Grundy is Solomon Grundy. Riddler is becoming Riddler again. Penguin is in prison, but he's in there with the Joker. So it's like, by the end of the season, everybody's going to be super villainish. Bruce is starting to become Batman again. It's just like, either do a Batman show or forget it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The original premise of the show wasn't even Batman, and then they kind of caved. So, it is what it is. Whatever. I want all these movies to be good. I love comics. I love these characters.
I feel like they're not going to be. So why should I continue to support their efforts when they don't really make an effort? It's a shame because the stars will suffer. Like, and now even with the Batman movie, they still don't know if it's going to be Ben Affleck. Really? What?
Yeah.
And he's been quoted saying, well, it's physically demanding. He really didn't seem about the physical demands when it was going to be like, dude, it's yours. You run it. You write it, direct it, whatever you want to do. It's this Batman movie.
Well, he wasn't worried about the physical demands when they gave the high paycheck and saying, you're Batman.
Yeah.
It was, these movies got bad reviews. Now he doesn't really want to be part of them anymore. These movies kind of suck.
And I don't blame him. Like, I don't blame the actors in the films for them being bad. You start with a script. If the script is shit, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a family member who works on films, and I'm just going to leave it vague intentionally. And I asked him once, like, when you're on set, do you know when you're working on a bad movie? It's like, yeah. And you just kind of push through it. I'm like,
it's just like, I would assume it's like anything else. A bad day at work's a bad day at work.
Yeah. But like, when you're putting out a bad product.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of curious from behind the scenes, like, is it something that, like, I mean, because he's worked on major films, and again, I don't want to say any of them. You've seen them, some of including superhero movies, including major TV shows.
Major TV shows.
Major TV shows.
I'm saluting.
I see that.
Okay, I didn't know if you picked up on it.
Yeah, it really works for the audio version of the podcast.
That's all right. Some stuff is just for the two people who might be watching on YouTube.
YouTube.com/something or other. Search for Geekodrome podcast on there.
Yes, you can watch the magic happen
live Monday nights here on the internet. And I'm just like, can you tell when you're on a bad movie? He's like, yeah. And I just think thought it was an interesting answer. It's just like sometimes you don't know what you're working on. That what you're working on looks bad till you're done. But when you're on a bad movie, sometimes you know. All right. So there was one other story that we'll cover quick. The store of our childhoods, Toys R Us, has filed for bankruptcy.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah.
Well, too bad, kid. The grim reality is that you got to go out into this cruel world without Toys R Us being in existence.
Yeah, well, they were billions of dollars in debt and having some problems for multiple reasons. And now they filed for Chapter 7. And we may see the end of the last big toy store. How do you feel about that, Stugots?
I think they have themselves to blame.
I think it's themselves, and really it's the management.
Yes, that's what I mean. Themselves.
Yeah.
I don't mean the poor person that's unloading the trucks. They're not to blame. It's the people at the top
No,
who
it's because
still got the right to give themselves $16 million in bonuses.
yeah, that was kind of fucked up. But basically, Toys R Us was bought out 10 years ago or so, and just a little shystery the way they did it, and now they're feeling the pinch for it, and we're going to lose the last big box toy store.
You know, they didn't compete. There's no reason that I read. The one article I read said that Amazon and Walmart were beating them for selection on toys. How is that possible?
Every time I go in the stores, well, it's possible Amazon can.
I get that, but you guys are Toys R Us. You guys are the market.
Yeah, it's like, how do they lose out to like Walmart?
Yeah. There's no reason in the world Walmart should be having a better selection of toys and games than you when your name is Toys.
Exactly. We've already lost Child World. We've lost KB, but that might be coming back now.
Yeah.
And even so, KB was always a bit of a shithole.
It was. It was never like organized. Everything was just tossed in a bin. It felt like we're on the floor.
Yeah. So who knows? But who knows what we'll see with that? But I don't know. I feel like a piece of childhood is lost.
No, definitely. My first job as a kid was at Toys R Us over on Bay Parkway and the Belt Parkway over in Brooklyn.
Aw. Yeah, but I think the other thing is that there was something to be said for going into a store that was just toys.
Yeah.
Like,
there was nothing else. It wasn't like we used to go to Century 21 on Saturday, right? My mom would be like, "Oh, we can go look at toys, but first I got to go over and look at the unmentionables, or I got to go over and look at shoes, or I got to go over and look at cookware." You're like, Jesus fucking Christ, lady! I just want to look at Shrinky Dinks.
Yeah.
Toys R Us was, oh no, it's on, baby. We're gonna get toys today.
Agreed.
There's no lollygagging in aisle 6 of Toys R Us.
Well, there is if that's the G.I. Joe aisle.
Oh, then there's lollygag.
But I think that was aisle 7. So I think you'd be.
Is Sasha Banks wearing her Wonder Woman outfit?
Looks like it.
Bailey's gonna drop her. Punch her, Bailey.
That's going to be a WrestleMania match.
Oh, definitely. They gotta set it up tonight.
Well, they've been setting it up.
They
just need to announce it at this point. But
handle your business.
I think we need to do a wrestling podcast to talk about this.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a sad day, and I think I can go into Target, Walmart, wherever.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the same, and the selection really was better at Toys R Us. Just because there was so much more and so much more space for it all.
Yeah. I mean, even in the 90s when I collected toys, I went to Toys R Us and got my the figures I couldn't find.
Definitely.
Even the Chase figures I found at Toys R Us.
Yeah, unless it was a store exclusive.
Yeah, that's totally different. But as a kid, we used to go buy the LJN wrestling figures at Toys R Us.
Of course. Who else is going to face off Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog?
And those things were like weapons. They were solid rubber.
Oh, God, yes.
Those things awesome. Hurt.
And they were, what, 14 inches?
Yeah. They were biggins.
They were. I had my Hulk Hogan doll. I remember.
You used to look at them and go, wow, that's big. That's what she said.
On that note, we'll follow up as, Toys R Us circles the drain. Because I think it's important to, geek culture that
definitely
that thing is, what happens with it. But on that note, I think it's time for a little of that hot pick action.
It's sizzling, baby.
So I'm going to start off because mine is related to our Toys R Us thing. I finally got around to watching that lovely little Netflix series, The Toys That Made Us.
Oh, I've been meaning to check that out.
It's fantastic. So they say it's an 8-part series in the intro, but there's only 4 episodes so far. Oh. I made it through 3 of them.
Okay.
Each one is a bit of an hour-long documentary, going from the origins of the property to the all-out creation of it.
Okay.
The first one, right off the bat, they hit up G.I. Joe.
Real American hero.
Sorry, Star Wars. Sorry, G.I. Joe's number 4. You can tell it's a long day.
Yes.
Star Wars is the first one, of course, because it's it's the toy property that really kicked off, the toy craze, as it were.
Yes.
After that, we had some Barbie.
Okay.
Which was actually really interesting. Because, I never actually collected them, obviously. Go ahead, make the joke.
Are you sure you didn't?
No, but my sister had them, and it was fun to torture her.
Did you make the G.I. Joes and He-Mans date the Barbies?
I didn't have any He-Mans.
Yeah.
I think I might have had like one, but no. I know that she would occasionally steal like my Mego dolls, though.
Yeah.
And have, Superman and date the Barbies. But episode 3 is He-Man.
And the Masters of the Universe.
Yes, which was the first toy property that drove the media as opposed to the other way around.
Right.
So that was interesting. And then number 4 is G.I. Joe, which is the only episode I haven't had a chance to watch yet. And it'll cover the 50 years, starting with the big 12-inch dolls and going up to the 3 3/4, action figures.
The Tomas and Zaymot figures.
I love those figures.
Those are cool as hell.
Yes. Yeah, of these, I collected the Star Wars, I collected the G.I. Joe. And then at some point, they'll be doing 4 more episodes. I've heard rumor that Lego is going to be one of the ones in season 2.
You should be consulting them on that one.
I should. I'd love to
on the Twitter and tell them.
I'd love to see a Transformers episode.
Well, I would love to see Transformers. I had the Transformers.
I did too, and how they took the Japanese toys and how they promoted them in America and everything and built it up.
What was your favorite Transformer toy?
My favorite? Well, I had a couple, but the one that I still have as a favorite is Soundwave.
I had Soundwave.
He's still my favorite. But there's a couple others I love. Oh, yeah. So what was that about the cassettes?
I said I loved the cassettes.
Oh, yeah. The fact
Ravage and Laserbeak and Buzzsaw and Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, his guns pushed down and they were the batteries in the compartment.
Yes. Yep.
So it was great. It was just so playable. Which was your favorite?
I was going to say Soundwave because I loved every aspect of it. And then most disappointing, though, was Blaster, the Autobots radio, because he had no cassettes.
Yes, he did. He just didn't come with them.
Yeah, he didn't come with them, so what's the point of them? At least Soundwave came with 2.
Did he come with 1 or 2?
Mine came with Ravage and Laserbeak, and then I ended up getting a Buzzsaw, which was the other bird, and Rumble. But then there was like another robot, like another regular
Frenzy.
Robot. Which one?
Rumble and Frenzy.
Oh, I can't remember what that one was.
Yeah.
And I didn't have those, but I definitely had the other 3.
Okay.
And I loved them. To me, it was brilliant. And then, Blaster, he may as well have been an 8-track player.
Blaster was awesome.
He sucked.
He was the boombox.
Yeah,
and his I don't remember all his cassettes, but I know there was the rhinoceros, there was the lion.
Don't remember any of his cassettes.
I don't remember the names of them. I didn't have any of his cassettes, but I had him. And he was so cool. He was cool and bright and red and yellow and exciting looking.
Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow.
Yes. I love the original Megatron when he was the gun.
Oh, yeah.
That one was cool. Optimus Prime, of course, was awesome.
Yeah, the trailer opened up to be a battle station.
Exactly.
Yeah, the other probe car.
Yeah.
Was it? Roller or wheels?
I forget what it was called. I'm trying to think what other ones were awesome. I like Hot Rod.
Drone. He was a drone before there was a drone.
And they only used him in the cartoon once.
Yeah.
Hot Rod was always a favorite of mine because he was just cool looking.
So I like Braun, who was the Jeep tank thing.
Oh, Constructicons, baby.
The Constructicons were, there was 6 of them that formed into one.
Oh, yeah. To the point where they were so popular, they did a whole line of of buildable robots like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we could do a whole episode on Transformers at this point.
We could.
So we're going to let it go.
Yes.
But obviously...
Let it go.
I definitely think you should watch The Toys That Made Us. It's fantastic.
Definitely.
So what do you got for me, Stugots?
I have a podcast. I have to open it up. It's in
Is
an
it
email.
Geekodrome? I love
No.
that show.
No, I hate that show. It is called The World in Words. It is, and you could easily just find it on Google or for anywhere you listen to podcasts. Hold on, I'm waiting for the rest of the email to. Well, no, podcasts. It was sent to me via Dogcatcher. All right. Just put it on feedburner.com world/words. So if you just Google the World in Words podcast, it'll come up. The episode in particular I'm referring to is their latest, and it is all about kayfabe. And if you don't know what kayfabe is, it is an old school wrestling term where the wrestlers stay in character and don't break character even when they're out in public. So it was like if back in the day, if you were a big Roddy Piper fan and you saw Roddy Piper at the airport and you asked him for an autograph, even if you were the sweetest little kid in a wheelchair, he would look at you and say, "Piss off," because you had to stay in character, you know. Yeah. So that was kayfabe. So they go ahead and it's about a half hour, this episode. They talk about kayfabe. They explain it. They talk about the biggest occurrence or example of kayfabe, which is when Dr. D, David Schultz, smacked John Stossel upside the face on an episode of 2020 in like 84, I guess, or 82 or 83. And then you hear John Stossel's account on 2020, and he says, "I had permanent ear damage. I got smacked in both sides of my ears." And then they cut to an interview with Dr. D. David Schultz, who's a legit badass. And he was straight out told by his boss, "Hey, go talk to this guy and protect our shit." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Okay, I'm going to do it. I got to do what I got to do now." He smacked him right upside the face. Stossel gets up. He backhands him. And David Schultz just goes into a great detail of the events of that night. And the hosts of the show, obviously, they don't deal with wrestling as a legitimate form of entertainment. They make it like a goof, and to them, it's like, oh, people watch it, which is a big deterrent to me. But it still, the rest of the stuff was interesting to hear.
That's why wrestling needs a couple of heroes.
Yes,
in masks and tights. So, yeah. So, do you think that's a bigger kayfabe moment than the Hulk Hogan, Richard Belzer moment?
This was, yes, definitely. And I believe this came before the Hogan Belzer
I think so.
Incident. The only thing that they even talk about when kayfabe died, when Vince McMahon opened up Monday Night Raw and said, explained kayfabe and how they weren't going to be using kayfabe anymore. Mm-hmm. And they talk about how that in itself became kayfabe. Mm-hmm. Because it was like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean that's a gimmick? Like, we're telling you we're not doing gimmicks.
Our gimmick is we have no gimmick.
Our gimmicks. So it itself became kayfabe.
Gotcha. Nice. I'm going to have to check this one out.
It was very good. And my friend Biana sent that to me. And she sends me a bunch of the NPR podcasts. And this one in particular was an episode that I enjoyed more so than anything else because I love wrestling. I wrote back to her. I was like, in the email about how I was like, this is all about kayfabe. I know all about it, and I explained to her all about kayfabe in a short email, and she wrote back, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you?"
And then you had to write a really long email to answer that one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have enough time to send an email about what's wrong with me.
All right. Well, in that case, it's time to lock up our kayfabe. But to find out more Geekodrome.
Oh, wait, my favorite kayfabe moment. Dirty Dick Murdoch being thrown out of Tilly's over the honky tonk over in Texas where Suburban Cowboy was shot because he repeatedly stayed in character and beat the fuck out of all the men in the bar night after night. That's kayfabe. If you don't understand it, that's kayfabe because he was a heel. Well,
kayfabe was also the faces and the heels couldn't be seen together.
Right, they didn't travel together, they didn't stay in the same hotels.
And they always had to. There were stories of them like being seen almost in person, and like they have to start a fight like outside a bar or outside a hotel, just because they think a kid sees them.
I mean, another break in kayfabe was Hacksaw Jim Duggan getting pulled over on the Jersey Turnpike with the Iron Sheik, both high on cocaine and drunk. when they were just finishing wrestling each other.
Yeah,
at the Meadowlands.
Exactly. There's so many stories like this.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt. We could keep talking about that for
I know. Again,
another hour.
And a whole nother show for us, just like Transformers.
Yeah. Yes.
But if you want to hear more about us and kayfabe and Transformers and other fun stuff, you can find more Geekodrome at geekodrome.co. We are wherever you find your favorite podcasts, be that iTunes, subscribe to us there.
Google Play. SoundCloud,
Stitcher, TuneIn. But,
Tinder, Grindr.
I don't want to know what podcast you listen to there. So you can find us on all those apps. Feedburner, Overlook, whatever listening stuff. If you could put it in your ears, you can find us there.
Yes.
So subscribe to get all this goodness in your ears on a weekly basis. If you want to hit us back, we're on the Twitters at Geekodrome Pod and on the Facebooks at Geekodrome Podcast. I'm John. I'm on the Twitters at Just John.
At Just John.
And Stugots over there, he's on the Twitters at Don Stugots.
At Don Stugots. That's me.
He's Don Stugots.
You just celebrated a little Twitter anniversary.
I have now been officially on Twitter as of this past Saturday for 10 years.
Yeah. I think I must be close to that. I signed up not long after you did.
Yeah, you signed up a little after I did because I was on there, and you're seeing the fun I was having. So yeah, it's been a crazy 10 years, and I feel like we could do a whole nother show on that.
Yeah,
because
how it's changed.
Yeah, Twitter today is not the Twitter of 10 years ago, when the worst thing you could do is post pictures of your lunch.
Yeah.
So I would do it every day.
That was such a faux pas then.
Well, it was great because there were the people who complained that you posted the pictures.
Yeah.
And then there were the people who were like, "Oh man, you look like you're having a really good lunch."
You're having a good lunch. Where'd that come from? I'm hungry.
I know. I was posted from the New York City delis every day.
Yeah.
People in like Texas, they don't have that, so they were like digging on my sandwiches.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like that's a whole nother episode. We're just racking up episodes here.
I know. I'm writing these down in like a database of some sort.
All right. But Don Stugots over there, he also hosts another show called The Eat Up Show on the Facebooks.
Yep.
What are you cooking up this week?
We're continuing with March Madness, baby, and we'll go meatless.
Meatless? In March? That is mad.
Going on. And you're definitely going to want to check out the show this week. It'll be up tomorrow night on Facebook. It'll be about, I want to say, maybe 7, 8 o'clock. You check that out, and it'll be up there. We got something cool lined up. And then you definitely want to be checking out Friday night's episode, a special bonus episode.
Ooh, twofer.
Friday night. Yeah.
I can't wait to tune in.
If you've been following along the show since day one, which was about 2 years ago, it's a big payoff this Friday. Big payoff.
Big payoff.
Yep.
Well, you know what other big payoff I want to see? As we point up at that big WrestleMania sign, because we are 3 weeks away, baby. 3 weeks away from WrestleMania.
3 weeks.
But until then, it has been
too sweet.
Where's the stump?